cat woke me up like hours ago. This is way too early for me to wake up, especially on Christmas break. Anyway, calm down. I have my cappuccino, and my dreads look pretty neat this morning. Speaking of dreadlock update, as you can see, they look pretty old. They're not. These are 5-day dreads. 5 days! I know some of them are like, oh yeah, that's definitely a 5-day premature dread. Well, duh. But some of them look almost braided. I think. No, that's not the one. There's one back in here when I was dreading it. I got really impatient with it, so I braided a part of it. It looks really fun. It was like braid, or dread, braid. If I can move this more. Not it. That is. So, this is the one I was like getting really impatient with my dreading process. It's like dread, braid for like an inch of braid in my dread. I don't know, it's just something weird. And this guy over here is just hanging out. It's just sticking there like an antenna. And, oh, this is a new video, I must explain. I put, excuse me, rubber bands in last night. You can see. I'm gonna link in the description to Dreadhead HQ's recommended rubber banding techniques, because I did my rubber bands before I read that, and they're a little bit tight apparently. They're supposed to be about, some of them are okay, they're supposed to be about half an inch from your scalp, that kind of makes your requirements, and they're supposed to be loose, like not terribly tight. They should move around. This one can move around. Not all of them can, but for right now I'm just gonna leave it because I'm lazy. The easiest way I've found to remove bands, like if you have a mess up, is take a pair of nail clippers. I don't have any handy. Just take a pair of nail clippers and clip, very delicately clip the rubber band. Don't clip your hair off. And my rubber bands, they were in a little box from Walgreens, but I put them in a bag, the black ones. I was using the smaller ones. They're like all different sizes. They're just like tiny, but they're of different sizes within the tiny range. But I was using the really, really tiny ones. I put them in a bag to keep them away from the cat. And I also bought, for when, later when I feel like some color, I bought these really pretty colored bands, super stretch, whatever, and it says, will not break your hair. I will test that, and I will let you know if I use them, if they are in fact premium quality and will not break your hair. I will let you know. But yeah, so I got my rubber bands. That's, I should make like a hey, you're gonna do dreadlocks, you need this. Rubber bands should definitely be on your list because they separate the dreads so well and they keep them from like trying to lock together, and it takes care of a lot of the loose hair that's like floating around my scalp. And since my my hair parting technique, like in the back especially and the sides, is really shitty, it helps like manage all this loose hair around my scalp. As you can see, I did a really bad job with some of these. Like this right here, all this hair, and then the dreadlock. No, not that one. See how the dreadlock's way over here, and all this hair from over here, and the dread. It's bad. That's messy and sloppy and not okay. And with some foresight into doing your dreads, that won't happen. You see, like this is the kind of thing I'm trying to avoid. There's kind of like a hair bridge between my dreads. I'll get that out of there later. Yeah. So, bridges in between your dreads at the scalp are bad, and this kind of, I don't remember what that's called. I don't know if that's a bridge or what, It's not good for you dreads. It makes me sloppy. But, so right now, my roots look pretty crap. Like, I look like an 80s rocker with the rubber bands and all the hair, all the scalp showing around the place. And apparently, when I take my rubber bands off, Dreadhead HQ recommends leaving them in for a month, 2 months. I might go a month. Depends. Might have to take them out and put different ones in. I don't know how that works. But they say once you take the rubber bands out and you wash your hair, and you wash it, the roots will pop back out and they'll hide your key parts, which I'm hoping might happen. And this guy's just sticking out here. There. I guess I will once again do some dread maintenance. So since this guy's sticking out so much, I'm volunteering for some crocheting. And I read a bit more and watched a couple more videos of guys doing the crocheting. And they said, this one guy that I like, I'll post his link in the description again, has a better like kind of technique for starting dreads that I probably would have used. Well, I would use it for someone else. Like if I was doing someone else's dreads, I would definitely use this other technique. But, and he's got a video also of crocheting maintenance, and his is really informative, and I like it a lot, so I will link it as well. But basically suggesting that when you do your lock, if you have to maintenance, like if you like the look of like streamlined, not so fluffy, fuzzy, loose hair surrounded dreads, when you do crochet maintenance, but he stresses doing it delicately. And palm rolling, this is palm rolling, can help when you use your lock pepper. You dabble it on. I've already lock peppered this one today. But palm rolling can get rid of a lot of loose hairs. And the guy in the video suggested like wetting down right after maintenance so that your hair would dry and it would like set kind of like a braid. When you put braids in wet hair, they kind of do that. I don't know if I would suggest that since I was reading up on dread rot. Terrifying. Dread rot, bad idea. So, I was reading about dread rot. Basically, that's when either your dreads build up residue from using a residue building up shampoo, which is basically your average daily shampoo is bad for your dreads. Don't use it. Get dread shampoo for reals. Don't use dish soap. That'll strip your hair, apparently. But I've got, not Dreadhead shampoo, but I have Naughty Boy shampoo. It's got tea tree oil and a bunch of other stuff. It smells really great. It smells very natural and earthy and tropical. Like the tea tree oil. It's got a very fine smell. And that also helps with antifungal, because if you use shampoos that build up residue, that residue can trap moisture in your dread, and your dread can start to mildew and rot, and it's gross. That's why dreads smell, if they smell, that not being clean. And that can also happen just not drying your dreads properly, so I like towel them off very, very well, and then I actually take a blow dryer through. You're not trying to roast your dreads, you're just trying to get all that moisture out if you can. And then don't tie your hair up, don't tie your dreads up until they're dry, because that can trap the moisture and it can start to do nasty things. And per the instructions on Dreadhead HQ, I'm probably going to wash my dreads every 3 to 4 days for the first, while they're doing their thing, locking up and starting to mature. That's recommended, and I know that sounds a little gross, but I'm still going to try it, don't worry. It's just going to build up oils in my scalp that I'll have to worry about. And I've read that if your scalp really itches, like if you can't stand going 4 days without washing your dreads, go ahead and wash them, like every 2 days, or every other day. But something about dreads are very delicate when they start, so you have to them a little time to form and whatnot before just starting to maintenance and wash them like every single day like regular hair. They're not regular hair, it's like an art form, I guess. Everyone's like finding their own definition of their dreads, and my dreads are kind of an art form, I would say. Especially with my little thing down here, which is, I love this guy. He's so tight, he's so happy. He's a happy dread. Sorry, I sound like Bob Ross. But yeah, I'm really happy with my dreads. Let's see, is there anything I forgot to mention? I'm not going to go into the details of crocheting because I'm going to link the video, and that is the best way, I think, probably, to crochet. And it's really hard for them to describe, but when you hold your crochet hook, the hook part, the little fish hook part, you see on the side that your thumb is, and you're pulling it towards yourself. So when you're working with the dread, you're feeling the hook against your opposing thumb. Like, when you're working with pulling these little loops in, these loops of loose hair, you can catch it between your other thumb and the hook, and you then get it through the dread. I'm doing this for demonstration for looks. You don't poke holes in your thumb, obviously. You just work it through. Don't rip. And like my ends, when I was doing some of them, I was violently ripping and whatnot. Bad idea. Bad idea. That'll just loosen it in the long run. And my ends are really bally, but they look, I think it's okay for now. But I've got basically this big knot ball formed up at the ends of my dreads. And they're holding together pretty well. Some of them are loose, like this one's squishy instead of hard. I'll probably work on him. And dread maintenance is pretty important. Clockwise rubbing and the works. But one of the reasons your rubber bands need to be loose and far away from your scalp is so you can clockwise rub, which you can clamp the hair and just rub it clockwise, and this builds up knots at the roots. So, because your hair's not going to grow in dreadlocking, it's not going to just join the dreadlock and be like, hi, I want to join the party. No, you have to make it do it, because otherwise it just looks like undreaded, mad straight hair. So we clockwise roll, and right now my scalp is actually oily. I just washed my dreads yesterday. My first wash was yesterday. Surprise! I know they look really good for right after a wash, but yeah. So, washed my dreads yesterday. They're kind of poofy. A little bit sticking up on my head. And I've got straight loose hair out here. I need to take care of this later. This is a loose mess. I might do that a little bit. But, and I was also watching this other video about ways to tie your dreads up without using a rubber band or without a hair tie. I think I'll link that in the description as well, if I can find it again. It's awesome. Basically use your dreads to tie themselves up. I used that yesterday quite a bit while I was out working. Just pull hair. And I'm trying not to rip anymore, because that's bad. But usually this is a loose end. Or hip loose end. I can't talk. But I think, like, I just look great. That's what I think. I think I look awesome with dreads. And yeah, they're kind of hippie and all over the place right now. They'll calm down, and they look pretty neat. I'll show you me tying them up. You pick two dreads from underneath. You pick two. I double knot it so it stays. I can pull it out later and it doesn't hurt anything. Okay. And tuck in all the loosey ones. Just tuck that in. I could tuck my bangs in. I decided to go ahead and dread my bangs. They're kind of cute little things around there. And now Buddy's trying to get my coffee. Hey, cat. What? Evil today. But this is ugly back of my neck. Not it. I'll have to watch this later and see if we can actually